What is going on, guys? We're going to be reacting to the new trailer for The Many Saints of Newark. This is based off of The Sopranos. This is a prequel to The Sopranos that I'm actually really excited to watch because The Sopranos is one of my, other than like Breaking Bad, it's one of my favorite shows to watch, and I love mob movies. I love Goodfellas, Casino. You name it, I love it all. Big fans and all those movies. Scorsese and what he's made and what everyone's made and brought to the table. So this is a Sopranos prequel, obviously, to the actual show. Obviously, Tony as a kid growing up, Dickie Moltisanti, which is Christopher's father, being his mentor, and obviously we need to find out what these other characters are. I heard there's a lot of other characters. I actually looked up what other characters. Paulie Walnuts, Silvio Dante's in it, Pussy Bompincero's in it. So there's a lot of characters, and obviously Ray Liotta's character, I kind of want to know who he was. So Ray Liotta plays Dickie Moltisanti's father. That's Chris's grandfather, obviously. So there's a lot of different things in this, but I'm gonna check it out. It's gonna be. I want to see how Tony's son could do. James Gandolfini's son, and how he could do. How he's gonna do in this movie, and it should be exciting. So let's check it out.
When I was a kid, guys like me were brought up to follow codes.
Hey,
wow.
Circle.
What'd you say?
What?
That was spitting image.
Antonio Soprano.
I wonder if I can talk to you alone for a moment, Mrs. Soprano. On the basis of the Sanford Binet, he's high IQ.
Yeah.
Can't prove it by me. He's got a D+ average.
Well, he doesn't apply himself, but he is smart. The results tell us. He's a leader.
Yep.
Ankle Dick.
There he is.
Growing up with the family takes a toll.
Maybe an ambassador to England or France.
You're my nephew.
Might like to gamble.
I want to do whatever I can to help you.
Maybe a businessman.
My gift to you.
I want to go to college. I can't get caught with shit like this.
Look, you take the speakers, right? At the same time, you say to yourself, this is the last time I'm ever going to steal something. It's that simple.
Let me go talk to him.
He only listens to Dickie.
That's his father, obviously.
Gotta do something about Dickie Moltisanti.
That looks like Zellman.
Maybe some of the things you do aren't God's favorite.
You lead by example. We'll make the right decision. This kid's got what it takes.
As far as your nephew goes,
I'm listening.
stay out of his life.
Wow. Wow. I really enjoyed that. I actually really enjoyed that. That brought me back to all the different things that were said. Obviously, if you go through this trailer, and I think it's amazing. I really do. I think it's great. Obviously, James Gandolfini's son, Michael Gandolfini. The quote of the codes, following the codes. That scene was taking place. That voiceover in the background was taking place at one of his therapy sessions when he's talked about the codes, which was cool. And he's like, "What do you say?" And then he gets all pissed off. Tony Soprano with the temper, you see that already. And then obviously, school, you know, not doing well in school. You know, Lydia, his mother, you know, not really, you know, obviously if you know from the show, she never really loved him at all and, you know, never really supported him at all or helped him with anything, which is kind of crazy. So obviously Lydia, I don't know who plays her, but it looks pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. Obviously Tony listening to his speakers, that obviously stolen speakers. And it's so funny because when the girl from the school, the counselor from the school tells Lydia that Tony is like, you know, because Tony has said he's got an IQ of 138. If you remember from the show, he said he had an IQ of 138. And on top of that, you know, she says that, oh, well, he has the, you know, he could be a leader. He's a leader material, which, if you remember the flashback from one of Tony's dreams when he was walking down his high school and he ran to his football coach in his dream, and the football coach was saying he would have been a natural leader on the field, and if you remember all that, trust me, I've watched The Sopranos, I don't know how many times. Obviously here you got Dickie Moltisanti, Christopher Moltisanti's father, you know, obviously a high horse in the mob. And a big mentor to you know, Michael Gandolfini. So obviously Anthony Soprano in the show. And if you get further, obviously Satriale's, the inside Satriale's, all looks the same thing. Obviously someone getting shot in their car. Yeah, there's Dickie Moltisanti. If you heard a lot, there was a, you know, it's crazy because even Tony talks about Dickie Moltisanti to Christopher and said he was a legend. You know, took out an English mob or, you know, an English crew, you know, and really brought the war to an English crew and did a lot of great things. You know what I mean? And, you know, really, obviously, if you know the story to Dickie Moltisanti, the ending to him, obviously, like, you know, this is right after Christopher was pretty much born. You know, he was, I mean, obviously, I think he's going to die in this movie just because, you know, he was shot, you know, outside his house, you know, bringing in, I think, like, these kind of like dinner trays. He was bringing in some type of trays or a carriage, or I don't know what the truth is, you know. That's what Christopher heard. So, obviously, Dickie Moltisanti's ending is probably going to be in this movie by the end of the movie, most likely. And, you know, obviously teaching this is really interesting. So if I can get this shot, I really can't get it too much, but I don't know if I can get this shot. It's too Silvio Dante right here writing on the notes. This is Silvio Dante. He's gonna be in the movie. I don't know who that's sitting with him in the car. Obviously, Dickie's lighting something on fire. Don't know what it is. So the new speakers. So really, and here you have right here, these two in the car, Paulie Walnuts right here. And then you have Pussy Bop and Sarah right here. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I've read some things about this is Pussy Bop and Sarah. And then obviously Paulie Walnuts right there. Obviously, you know, with the hand gestures, you know, you can't miss Paulie Walnuts when he was younger. So pretty cool. Awesome. Obviously Dickie Moltisanti being that mentor to Anthony Soprano, teaching him the mob life. You know, and you know, it was, I think that this part was funny because it's like, just remember, like, if you ever steal something, just say it's the last time I'm ever going to steal anything, when it's really not, to make yourself feel better. Because, you know, if you know, he talks about being, Anthony Soprano talks about being in college. So in the original show, he talked about being, he took a semester and a half of college, and that was really it till he was brought into this life 100% fully, which is pretty cool. So if we go a little further, obviously right here, if I could get this, I don't even know if I can get this scene on right. Well, obviously you see in the car right there, Tony's father, and then you see obviously Uncle June in the seat right there. There they are. I got it. I don't know. I'm trying to slow motion this, but obviously this is Tony's father. And there's Uncle June right there. You know, they were, you know, and obviously Tony doesn't have a relationship with his father. It's not a great relationship at all. They never had a great relationship. He was more close to Dickie. So obviously there's going to be a, you know, there's going to be an issue here, you know, because his father is going to, you know, obviously his father got into this life and obviously is not paying attention to his family. You know, being there when he can, but obviously, you know, doing other things as well. So that's cool. And obviously at this part when, you know, Livia, you know, Tony's father talks about, you know, Uncle June says, oh, well, you know, we'll talk to Tony, you know what I mean? We'll talk to Tony. And, you know, Lydia's like, he doesn't listen to anyone but Dickie Moltisanti. That's his mentor. So more important to him than his family, obviously. Obviously, you have the riots in the 60s. This was the race riot back in the 1960s. I know somewhat a little about it. So we'll see. Obviously, right here you have Zellman. I don't know if this is Zellman from The Sopranos. There has been rumors about it being Zellman. Obviously, you know, buying up, you know, Tony's houses and doing all those things, and you know, obviously being a part of this riot as well. I mean, we'll find out more about it, but I'm not like 100% sure. And then obviously Tony has his crew. Now, if you remember from the original Sopranos, Ralph, you know, talked to Jackie Jr. about, you know, back in the day there was a crew. It was Silvio Dante, you know, Ralph, Tony. I forgot who else. I think Richie Aprile. You know, so it should be interesting, you know, to see who's with him there. A lot of fun. Obviously here you see, you know, Dickie Moltisanti, and obviously they're gonna execute somebody in a garage. You see the power drill. And obviously that there's an ice cream guy that gets Mr. Softy. That's funny. There was actually a Mr. Softy out today. Actually, I saw Mr. Softy when I was in Jersey. Obviously they, you know, Tony and his crew, I guess they just, you know, he's starting to get into the mob life. They beat the crap out of some ice cream guy. I don't know. Right here, you have Ray Liotta here, obviously playing. Looks fantastic. He's obviously playing Dickie Moltisanti's father. You know, I think his name was like Hollywood Moltisanti or something like that. I mean, obviously we never heard of him in The Sopranos. We just heard about Dickie. You know, most of the time, like we would hear about Dickie, but I want to see what his character. He obviously goes to prison later in this trailer. There you go. You have obviously Tony's father right here, you know, shooting his gun at something, which should be a lot of fun. I don't know who. I don't know. Obviously, this is a funeral. This is a wake. There's always wakes in The Sopranos, like every week. So I don't know who this is. I don't know if that's Lydia. I don't think that's Lydia. I think it's somebody else. I don't know. That could be. Could be Dickie Moltisanti's funeral. Could be. I think that's his wife. I think it could be his wife. I'm not really sure, but we'll just have to see. Obviously, somebody coming after Dickie Moltisanti. I don't know who the Shadow is. You know, obviously he's going to create a lot of tension. You know, like more riots are happening in the streets. Obviously, the race riots. If you go further here, and obviously Dickie Moltisanti is talking to his father, played by Ray Liotta, in prison. And it looks like a prison. It looks like he's in a jumpsuit. And Ray Liotta, you know, Dickie Moltisanti's father, tells Dickie that you know, stay away from Anthony Soprano. You know, I guess he's trying to protect him, not to bring him into this life. He's a good kid, so obviously he must take some careness into you know, Anthony Soprano. and tells Dickie, and Dickie just gets really pissed after hearing that, because that's his, it's his nephew, it's his boy, you know what I mean? And they have a close relationship, and his father's telling him not to get involved. So obviously the end credits roll up, the Sopranos music, and there you go. I mean, I think this is going to be fantastic. I'm really excited to see this. I think it comes out. It was supposed to come out earlier this year, and it got pushed back. So this movie was in the making for about, I'd say, 5 years. I think about 4 to 5 years they had this in the making. So obviously I did a lot of research on who plays who, and this is going to be exciting. I'm pretty pumped about it. I really am. Like, I love The Sopranos, and obviously you want to see what happens before everyone as a kid, and obviously all the big mobsters like Dickie Moltisanti, and obviously this story is based around Dickie Moltisanti, which is pretty cool, and Anthony Soprano, obviously. So I'm excited about it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. There's a lot of cool things. I know I tried to discuss it as well as I could, but I think it's going to be really good. I'm pretty pumped about it. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys later. Peace out, guys.